Hey everyone, welcome to Dillard Draws. I'm not drawing today. I'm going to talk about these little multi-tools. Now, for those of you guys who aren't aware, these exist. I have a couple of full-size multi-tools, and they're useful. They have their uses. However, I didn't know how much I would like these little multi-tools and how useful they would be, just in general. These are made, the Leatherman Micra and the Gerber dime are made to be keychain multi-tools. Like I have a set of keys, pretty heavy. So keep in mind that when you use these things, you're going to usually be palming a set of keys while you're using the functionality of the tool. That's important. Now the thing is this: I originally had this tool, this Gerber dime. I used to have a small Leatherman before, and my main multi-tool is a Leatherman Wave, but this one is so much better. And I'm going to tell you why. I had this one. I bought this one originally. I had read some reviews and they said this is good. Now, a lot of people will make their choice based upon whether they're a very conservative person or they like things that look a little bit more almost like a black gun. This thing is very, it looks like a DeWalt power tool. It's very futuristic looking, a lot of bells and whistles on it. Not to say that there aren't bells and whistles in the Leatherman, but it's very traditional, very classic looking. It has the small. It's a little bit hard to see in this light, but there's a small measuring tool here on the side, and it has a little bit of a more robust key ring than the Gerber dime, but we'll get to why that really doesn't matter. The Leatherman tool, it feels a little sharp, especially the edges up here on top. Everything feels like it hasn't been rounded over. It just feels a little more rugged. And these tools are very small. So the main reason you want to get this tool, usually, is for the main tool that it has. Most have pliers. The Leatherman Micra has scissors. So when I had this tool originally, I'll open it up for you here. The Gerber dime's main tool is a pair of pliers. I will say, trash, absolute trash. You can't do anything with them. These pliers are so small. They're basically. I've only ever used them as tweezers, like a stronger pair of tweezers. You can't really do anything with them. You can't bear down enough pressure. You can't twist. You can't torque on them. The machine itself is too weak to use these. So when I got a new one, when my old one broke, and I'll tell you how that broke. I was at a big box store, and we were in my wife's car, and we kind of on the spur of the moment decided we wanted to get a barbecue grill, a cheap one to take camping. So I tried to use this Gerber. I tried to use the screwdriver function on it, this one here, to take apart the wings of the barbecue grill. That didn't work. I ended up having to go inside and buy a screwdriver because this ended up bending and ruined the tools next to it. I straightened it out. The tools next to it were now having difficulty opening and stuff. This is not a very expensive thing, so I decided to just get a new one. But before I got a new one of these, I wanted to try this one because originally these were the two that I was considering buying. So I get the Leatherman Micra. It shows up. Immediately, I'm a little bit taken aback. It's classy. It feels good. There's nice snap to everything. And the main reason is because I didn't like the functionality of the pliers in this one. They just were no good for plying anything. I said, why not get scissors? So the main function, the main tool in this Leatherman is a scissor. I'm not going to lie. I like the Gerber scissors better. Scissors, you say? Yeah, look. The Gerber also has on the side of it a pair of scissors, a small pair of spring scissors here. And these are not bad. They're good. They cut small strings. These ones, they make you feel like you could cut something a little bit more with a little more substance, and you just can't. You can't. They're not. The finish, the fit is not tight enough. Maybe they're not sharp enough. I don't know. I haven't tried sharpening them up yet, but you can see they don't open up very wide. And And they cut as well as anything. If you put a string in there and really pull back on the string and get it on there, it'll cut. But I'm not impressed. So that was a major disappointment for me for this Leatherman Micra. So taking that away, another thing that really disappointed me was nothing is accessible from the outside. If you look at this, all the tools are on the inside. So if you want to access your pocket knife, you have to open it all the way up, find your pocket knife, open that, and you can use it this way, though it's very clumsy, and it's probably best practice to close it all up, and then you can use your pocket knife function. But keep in mind, you're going to be having a whole set of keys in your hand while you're trying to do this maneuvering. So as much as I really do prefer the look of the Leatherman, it just looks nicer. It looks classier. It looks more traditional. It looks smaller. It doesn't have the sleek aerodynamic design of a airplane looking thing. You know, this looks like a jet. This looks like a slab of steel. I prefer the Gerber dime. Now this has scissors. They're not great, but they work as scissors. Another thing I'll say, the ring is important. The ring is important because the ring on the Gerber dime is not as strong as the ring on the Micra. It's just a little bit smaller. It's a little bit jankier. It's just not as stiff. I actually had these on my keys using the key ring. On my old one, the key ring busted on the Gerber. It didn't bust. It warped, it malformed, and it fell off inside of my pocket at one point. So I took it off completely, and I started using my main ring on my keys and fitting it through the bottle opener here in the front. This is a bottle opener. So essentially that rendered this functionality of the tool useless because they always had a big key ring running through it. That's what I hooked it onto. So thankfully, I don't live in, the 50s or, have my soda pop bottle caps are not press-ons. And I'm not a big beer drinker. I prefer, regular soda. So that's not much of a disadvantage to me, but it is there. I have these coins here for size comparison. And I'm a more of a traditional fan. When I buy a gun, I buy the guns that look traditional. Like my favorite gun is my Henry. It's a Henry Golden Boy 22. It's the copper-ized version. It looks really cool. Or they call it brass light. But leaps and bounds compared to this Micra, this functionality of this thing is just so much better. I cannot ignore it. These tools. This is the main tool. One of the two main tools. Features of this thing. This is called the package opener, and what you do is those hard to open plastic blister packs. This is what this is for. You simply you grip it, you slide it along, and you cut, and it comes out cleanly. I use this thing so much more than I thought I would. The old one, this end here is all gunked up with plastic and stuff because Amazon packages, tape. Anything you buy at the store, phone chargers, anything that comes in a blister, anything that you can't normally pop open like a can of soda, you use this for, and you use it a lot. And even with this thing dangling off the end of a heavy keychain, you use it a lot. It's very fast, very convenient. And remember, I'm doing all this stuff I'm doing is on the outside. As it's sitting there on your, in your pocket, you have access to everything. The other one that I use a lot is just the regular pocket knife. Now, again, this doesn't have the cool factor of the Leatherman where it has that drop point traditional style pocket knife. Let me find it here. It doesn't look as cool. I think this is called a sheep's foot, and it's mainly so that when you are cutting something, you can go underneath the object and pull up. This is super useful. I didn't think it was going to be. It's crazy useful. I use this knife a lot. It's very small. I mean, what is it, like maybe 1.25 inches? I mean, but I use this and it takes care of all the business, everything. It's nice and sharp, easy to sharpen, and it's just fantastic. I will say this is the only Leatherman Micra that I've owned, and I haven't used it till failure. But I rebought the Gerber dime. After I bought this, it showed up in the mail. I used it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I couldn't take it. Before the 2 weeks was even up, I had already put in an order for a replacement Gerber dime. It's just a fantastic little tool, and they're about the same. Everything about them is about the same. Look, you can see they're about the same size, about the same weight. They're competitors to each other, and it's just the Gerber dime is even cheaper. It's more affordable than this one, and it's just so it has so many more things that you actually use on a day-to-day basis. And the main drawback is that I can't get to any of these things without opening this tool up, and which is a major pain in the ass. I'll never do that again. So, Leatherman Gerber dime, if you ask me, the Gerber dime. It's fantastic. These tools are too small for the main tool to actually even matter. So I mean, everything else that aside, everything else is all convenient on the outside. God. Also, again, like I was saying, I mainly use it as a pair of tweezers. This main plier part. It's funny that's the case because on the back here, if you look here on the back, this little nib, you can pull this out. This is a little set of tweezers. And they're useful. I've gotten a splinter out or two with these, so. It's just a better overall. It's a total package. I like the look of the Leatherman. I like how it looks classy. If you pull it out, people say, oh, that's a nice little pocket knife thing you got there. This is so much better in every way. That's it. That's my 2 cents. So, I hope you found this video useful. If you have found this video useful, subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.